Hi guys, welcome to Constellations, our group about making connections. My name's Bethany, and I am so excited to be back here on the Dry Leaps Facebook page to talk about the next steps in organizing our dinner party. So, as with all aspects of this dinner party, it's about making connections with those around us and those that we love. And so this is another great opportunity to talk about some really good family recipes and what you might want to make. When creating a meal for a dinner party or even a weeknight, it's important to plan ahead. This includes making sure that you have all the right ingredients, because it would really stink to get halfway through a recipe and be like, oh no, I don't have this key ingredient. So that's one way you have to plan ahead. But you also need to make sure that you're planning the preparation of the ingredients and the timing of the cooking. Different things take different lengths of time to cook, and if you don't plan right, then you might end up with some component of your plate being cold. So you just want to make sure that you're planning each step of this to the best of your abilities. So with all of this in mind, I have chosen to make a meal for my family that is one of our favorite recipes, especially because it's summertime. So we're going to do some grilling, which you'll likely need some help with. I think my dad might help me, but we'll see. And grilling outside, especially during the summer, is something that my family really enjoys, and is this specific recipe is one of our favorites because it's filling, but it's also light. During the summer, we try to eat a little lighter and not as heavy, and it's also healthy. So without further ado, let me share our recipe, which is on my screen. Okay, here we go. So, sharing our recipe. We're gonna make salmon, asparagus, and potatoes. It's honestly so good, and it's so simple and pretty quick to make too. So, as you can imagine, the first ingredients that we need are asparagus, potatoes, and salmon. I know, you guys all saw that coming. But now we need to think about the additional ingredients and things that we need to make this recipe. So, when I think about the next set of things that we need, I'm thinking spices. So what type of spices are we going to use? And for this meal, we're going to use lemon and garlic. And then this is an item that you likely have in your house already, but I want to make sure that's on the list in case we run out. Especially, like I said, that planning ahead, it would really stink to get halfway through this recipe and be like, oh no, I don't have salt and pepper. And yeah, sometimes you can improvise and use other ingredients, like maybe red pepper instead of black pepper, but it's just better to make sure you have a comprehensive list to begin with. So salt, pepper, and then salmon or chicken seasoning. I am honestly just going to use the generic Kickin' chicken seasoning that I have in my house, but you can talk to your parents about what makes sense for you guys. And then I'm thinking, how am I going to make sure that this meal doesn't stick to my grill and we don't have anything to eat? So some Pam or nonstick spray and some butter is also what we're going to need. And then an item, again, that should be stocked in your kitchen, but if it's not a big deal. It's on our list, so we pick it up, is aluminum foil. And then finally, again, this is an item that likely an adult needs to help you with. You can make connections around this, but making sure that your grill is in working order. So for me, that means making sure that I have propane and that it's hooked up and ready to go when I need to cook. So the other component to consider here is you're welcome to substitute any ingredients that don't work for your family. And this is a good opportunity to really have that conversation with them. Do you guys like fish? Do you guys not like fish? Maybe salmon isn't the way to go. Maybe a white flaky fish or chicken is a better option for you guys. You guys don't like asparagus? No big deal. Broccoli or cauliflower. Some of these are other vegetables that you can substitute in using similar spices and the grill as a preparation technique. So bell peppers and onions is another one. So really just making that connection and talking to others about food and what they would be interested in having at your dinner party. So I also have a surprise for you guys, which is, in addition to making salmon, asparagus, and potatoes, we're gonna make banana s'mores. What would a summer barbecue be without s'mores? But there's gonna be a slight twist, and we're gonna make them on the grill. And so to do that, we're gonna need bananas, and then your classic s'mores fixings, marshmallow, graham cracker, and chocolate. And we might need to get creative. I know graham cracker has been a little challenging for us to find right now, so I might substitute another type of cookie. So potentially maybe the little Teddy Grahams instead of graham crackers. And then for this, we're also going to need more aluminum foil. Now, the last component of this that we really want to think about is how our grocery store is organized, because we don't want to be running to get the bananas, running to get the butter, running to get the marshmallow, back to the salmon. So what I've done is I've made myself a little sheet that shows me where, that follows the path of my grocery store and tells me what items I'm going to need. So in my grocery store, we go from produce to seafood to snacks to spices and other household goods, and then finally dairy. But at your grocery store, you might enter into the dairy section or into the meat section. So it's really up to you to kind of organize this list for what makes sense for you. So I've now taken all the ingredients from both of those recipe cards and made them group together so that I know what goes in my produce, and then what I'm going to get from seafood, what I need from the snacks, what I need from the spices, other household goods, and dairy. I personally find it really helpful to color code my list so that I know where each of the different sections begins and ends. But that's just me personally. You can do it all in one. The other thing is that Alexa has a great app for making grocery lists that are organized by section. And then you can always, when I go to the grocery store, I always just throw my phone in a plastic bag and wipe it off when I get home so that it stays nice and clean. Or you can take a paper and pencil list and throw it out when you're done. So it's really up to you guys. Yeah, I think that's everything. Let me, yeah, so make sure you share your recipes, especially if they're different, on Facebook. We'd love to see what you're making, and the Giant Leaps Facebook page is a great place to connect with others around what you're making. And then finally, as always, feel free to check out the other groups and what they're up to and the fun crafts and activities that they're doing. Thanks again for joining me on Constellations, our group about making connections, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.